All right, so today we have Suka in Louisa.
Ladies, men want to be stressed out. See, what you don't realize is that men are prone to stress. They are fully equipped to handle stress. They like stress. And they like women that stress them out.
This is not true. I think there's a perception there that makes sense because I think guys do typically like stress, but once guys get past a certain point, they want a woman that provides peace. I think a large reason that perception exists is because men put themselves into stressful situations proactively. Hardworking, ambitious men don't have a problem with this because the world is inherently like this. It's the reality of nature. You have to fight to get what you want. I think it's extremely different when a girl artificially makes his life difficult. Typically, there's already enough hard stuff going on. The last thing you want is a girl making it artificially difficult for you, like a little mini game that you win and get the reward. Guys don't want that. They just want things on their program. It's that simple.
It is those type of women that they obsess over. Not the nice girl. Not the super nice girl who is waiting at home for him. No, that is not the dream girl. Yeah, he may keep you in his life, but you are the placeholder.
This is a female projection because this is what girls do. Girls need a variety of men to fulfill all of their requirements. Girls can only truly love one guy at a single time, and they project all this stuff onto men all the time because they assume that we're the same. Obviously, men also have that dualistic nature. How can men like the nice girl while simultaneously liking the bad girl? It's quite simple. The nice girl fulfills one role, which is conducive to long-term results. The bad girl is purely for short-term enjoyment and fun. Men rarely have the intention of keeping the short-term girl around for long-term. The nice girl is usually the girl that gets access to his wallet. The difference here is that men, whether you agree with it or not, have a higher capacity to manage this than women do. Women don't want multiple men. They want all of those characteristics in one man. They want that singular man to be the bad boy and the good guy at the same time. So when they say a guy is keeping a nice girl around as a placeholder, all they're doing is projecting what they do when they take on a nice guy, keep him as a placeholder until something better comes along. Also keep in mind that feminine men will likely chase that girl because they're more interested in pleasure than they are the right thing.
You are not the dream girl. You are not his dream girl. Because, ladies, the dream girl is someone who fuses that man. The dream girl is somebody who confuses that man. The dream girl is the one that knows how to instill obsession in that man. There is no obsession without confusion. And there is no confusion unless a woman is detached. So in order to confuse the man, in order to keep him in this state of confusion with you, you have to be unpredictable. And you can't be unpredictable unless you are fully detached.
This advice only applies if you want to be the highest level mistress. Obviously, a lot of people are going to scream immorality because this is all they care about, but of course, I'm referring to reality. If you want to be the highest quality mistress, follow this advice. This type of girl rarely gets the same benefits as the long-term girl. She obviously provides a lot of mental stimulation, especially to a guy that's untrained and has way too much money for his own good. Most of the time, high-achieving men that had no success with women before they were successful will delve into this kind of thing. They have the picture-perfect life and everything is too regimented. This type of woman comes in and she serves as the ultimate affair partner. The affair lasts as long as it lasts and then she leaves. This woman rarely gets anything tangible from this type of relationship other than the attention and maybe some short-term fun.
So this is a skill that you need to learn to master. Because the dream girl, his dream girl, the woman that he puts on a pedestal, she's not predictable.
So first off, men that put women on a pedestal are feminine. Women that employ these types of tactics, such as detachment, are masculine. Basically, all she's doing is completely inverting the traditional roles and trying to pretend that this is the right way of doing things. She's most likely just trying to justify her life because she can't imagine changing or being submissive to a guy. Instead, what she's going to do is lecture girls on how to become masculine so they can pretend to be in the power position. The feminine wants to be controlled, so practicing detachment is completely counter to what you actually want.
She's not predictable. She's not someone that he knows her every move. She's not sat waiting for him to call her. She's not there available for him. She doesn't jump when he says jump. The dream girl is detached. She prioritizes herself and she centers herself. And then the man has no choice but to center his life around her.
And the moment he does that, he's essentially submitted his masculinity. He is now a shell of a man. I love how many women come online and preach this message, but it's always exactly the same. In their heads, they've been convinced that the girl needs to control the relationship for it to work. They've most likely been let down, their fantasy has been severed, and now their only course of action is complete control. Then, of course, they reinforce a negative feedback loop. They go for the guy that's willing to be controlled. That guy automatically becomes less and less attractive over time. They eventually get to a point where they leave him. They either perpetually repeat the cycle, or they flip-flop from being dominated to being the dominant. And if they do go for the dominant guy, what they do is they're conditionally dominant when it suits them, and they're conditionally submissive when it suits them. So of course, that relationship also doesn't work out. This is exactly why the vast majority of advice that girls give online when it comes to this stuff is garbage. They're not playing the game for what gives them the greatest long-term benefit. They're playing the game in a way that benefits their narrative the most. That narrative could be children, money, security, companionship, intimacy. These are all components of a long-term goal. What you'll find though is that they focus on these individual elements exclusively. Once one of those elements is gone, they become dissatisfied. Essentially, they want it all and they can very rarely have it.
He has no choice but to free up time for her. He has no choice but to run after her.
This is the exact difference between the highest performers and the mid-performers. If a man continuously chooses her over his work, eventually his work is going to slip. Now, I'm sure some balance can be achieved, of course, but it has to be on his terms and not hers. As soon as it's on her terms, this is where you start to see the beginning of the erosion of her attraction to him.
It is very simple.
I wish it was that simple, but more girls are taking on this type of advice and you're seeing relationships struggling more and more. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Don't forget to check the links in the description below.